Okay, get ready for this, because we're about to explore how you can take a simple idea, maybe even just a single sentence, and turn it into a gorgeous, fully illustrated graphic novel. And the craziest part? We're talking minutes, not months, all thanks to a couple of super smart AI tools. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had that flash of inspiration, that perfect story or character that you just knew would be an amazing comic book, but then you stopped yourself? Maybe you thought, I can't draw a stick figure, or who has that kind of time? Well, all of that is about to change. For real. Think about the old way of doing things. Making a graphic novel was this massive mountain to climb. You needed serious artistic talent and a huge amount of time. But look at this shift. With AI, the most important thing isn't your drawing skill, it's your idea. The whole game has changed, making storytelling something anyone can do. Now, to pull this off, you don't need some big, expensive studio. Nope, you just need your own personal creative duo. And we're talking about two completely free tools from Google, Gemini and NotebookLM. Just think of them as your own personal writer and illustrator, totally ready to go. First up is Gemini. In this whole process, Gemini is basically the brains of the operation. It's your scriptwriter. You feed it your main concept, and it just runs with it, building a professional, super detailed script with scene descriptions, dialogue. It even thinks about camera angles for each panel. It literally creates the entire blueprint for your story. And the other half of this dream team is NotebookLM. This is your artist. It takes that awesome script from Gemini and does all the heavy lifting, visually speaking. It illustrates every single panel and lays out every page to create the final polished graphic novel. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's get into the first big step, building that all-important blueprint for our story. This is where we lay the foundation, and you're gonna see just how ridiculously easy it is. All right, check this out. It's just 4 simple steps. First, you start with your big idea. Let's use the example here, Cell City, where a cell gets invaded by a virus. Fun, right? Then, you use this really cool custom tool called the Graphic Novel Script Gym. It's basically Gemini, but it's set up to interview you. You just answer its questions. What's the story? Who's it for? How long should it be? And what art style do you want? Maybe something like a neon cyber city vibe. Once you've given it the info, it just generates the entire script. And then one click and it's exported right to a Google Doc. Done. And now for the magic. Seriously, this is the best part. We have our scripts, our blueprint. Now it's time to hand it over to our AI artist, NotebookLM, and just watch as it turns all those words into incredible pictures. This is where it all comes to life. So inside NotebookLM, the process is just as easy. You start a new notebook and you upload just one thing, that Google Doc with our script. That's it. Then you look for the option to create a slide deck. Now this is the key, because we're not making a boring presentation. We're about to give it one very specific, very powerful little command. And this is it. These 6 little words are all you need. You don't have to write some complicated prompt or know a bunch of technical jargon. You literally just type, retell the story as a graphic novel, and NotebookLM knows exactly what you want it to do. The AI handles all the complexity for you. So once you hit go, it's time to grab a coffee. It's going to take about 10 minutes, but think about what's happening in that time. The AI is reading your entire script, figuring out what everything should look like, generating dozens of unique images, and putting them all together into a book. It's doing an insane amount of work behind the scenes. After that quick wait, bam, you have a finished graphic novel sitting right there. But we're not quite at the finish line. The last step is all about making those final little tweaks to get it just right, and then, of course, sharing it with the world. Now, you might be wondering, what if the AI messes something up? Like, let's say your script clearly calls for oranges, but for some reason the picture shows apples. No big deal. You don't have to start over. You just hit the revise button on that one panel and type something simple like, make the apples into oranges. The AI zaps that one image, fixes it, and leaves everything else totally untouched. It's so powerful and so easy. All right, so once you're happy with every single panel, you've got a few ways to get your masterpiece out there. You can download it as a PDF, which is perfect for just sharing and reading. You can also grab it as a PowerPoint file. And here's a little pro tip. Just upload that PowerPoint to your Google Drive, and you can convert it to Google Slides with one click. Super flexible. So there you have it. The tools are here, they're free, and they're easier to use than ever. The wall that used to stand between a great idea and a finished graphic novel, it's pretty much gone. So really, the only question left is the one you see right here. What story are you gonna tell?